This is a full market review using the candle theory model, from the MCR to the zero candle, from manipulation to confirmation. If anything doesn't make sense or you want to learn more, jump into the free Discord. Link is in the description. Let's break this down. This trade netted me over $500, and I hope that through showcasing you guys how I got this trade, you guys can start understanding this model. So let's get into this video. Let's clear our chart, head to the daily time frame. As always, we're trying to go from higher time frame to lower time frame to understand where price is currently wanting to go. So we still have this wick up at the top where price is currently rejecting off of. Let's mark that internal high at the top and then the same low that we used yesterday for price to draw towards. Okay. We're going to need more than that from the daily because we're just trying to get premium and discount for price to range in between for the day. On the 4 hour, we have this low where price currently pushed away from and then had a candle count on. We have these two internal highs as well. We start clearing out a very good picture once we fill in these premium and discounts. Let's get some hourly highs and lows. And then when we went on the 15-minute, because this is where our profiles are starting to show, found this doji, mark that in blue. And then we had these profile highs where price hasn't closed above them. And then we still had this one as well. I want us to take a look at this red box. This red box is our DCR. It is an accumulation of these two profiles from 6 o'clock to 11 o'clock on a Monday. And this is going to be the range the price is going to draw towards or reject off of through the week. Let's start at our new session. Starting at New York AM MCR, let's look at our area of interests and try and get a bias. We have the 1800 below. So that's going to be the opening price of the day. What is above us? We have the DCR of the week. That is going to be from 6 o'clock to 11 o'clock on a Monday. So from 6, basically 11. That's going to be the high and the low range for the week, where price is going to draw towards or react off of. And then we also have this 15-minute doji in blue. That is going to be the entire secret MCR. We also have the London MCR in that same consolidation. So we can kind of tell ourselves that there is a high chance that price is probably going to find some rejection right here and then start continuing down, possibly to the 1800 and then this area of interest that price rejected off of from yesterday. So let's see what price does once we close above this range. Do we continue going higher once we close above this range, or do we have price ranging and giving us some confluence that confirms with our bias of these higher time frame areas of interest? Here we can see price struggling to close above, and we're also not closing above these wick gaps highs that we keep on creating once price wants to keep on going above. So let's see how price reacts from this 15-minute doji and then the secret and London MCR consolidation. We get a really good reaction. But the thing is, once we confirm above a manipulation or below a manipulation, we are expecting a retracement. So right now, there's a lot of people trying to buy out of this manipulation right now. We also have this doji in the middle that we can mark as confluence. So until price really breaks below these dojis that we're going to create, see here's another one, we won't really know that price wants to be bearish. So let's wait for that, because you'll find these dojis at pivot points. Okay, you can see how we have these dojis at our pivot points. Okay, so this is just going to help us with our confluence on the lower time frame, because if we close below, we can kind of have that as the next drawn liquidity, and then if we close below, we can have that as an area of interest to react off of. So price is still reacting off of this doji. We're creating more dojis. We still haven't closed below that wick up at the bottom, and price could still reject off of this wick. So we need to be closing below this area of interest for us to continue lower. And then it's just waiting for a retouch and then a candle count lower, and then you would enter off of that. So we're still rejecting off of this 1 minute wick up at the bottom that is fortified by these wick ups right here. There's also a doji over here. I'm going to leave that doji out for now. Another thing, something that you guys could use is waiting for price to make a zero candle. So this would be the zero candle. And then this would be the next zero candle, possibly. And then you can wait for a retest and a confirmation from that if you want to continue lower. But we still need to be below this wick for us to continue lower. So let's wait. See, here we start taking this high again, but we haven't closed above it. So let's see what price does. Do we start creating candle counts and then rejecting from that original candle count and then confirming again? And then we need to be closing below these dojis on a confirmation. I'm going to show you guys that now. Here we start getting good rejection from the top. This was my first indication that we are going bearish, because if that's the zero candle, we just had a confirmation. But for me to be confirmed that I want to continue selling, I wanted us to at least go a bit down, react, make another candle count confirmation, and then price keeps on tanking. So this was where we start looking for sells. Price going back into that zero candle. And then the first candle count out of this was our trade. There we go. So if that was the zero candle, reacting back into the range where price had to close out of, you see how clean that is compared to this previous move. We're also breaking out of this DCR. And then if you guys want to wait, you can wait for price to close below this candle and then away from this accumulation of dojis. And then we had 18 ticks. And then we traded to the bottom of the manipulation range. Here we have another candle count. So price is coming into these zero candles and then creating new areas for price to close below. And the nice thing what happened here is we made new dojis, okay, with a candle count, and then the candle count confirmation, meaning the candle that confirmed below this candle, it closed below these dojis. So if we were entering on this candle, our area of interest that is supporting our stop loss is going to be these dojis. And you see how price pulled back into them and then closed lower. So that's going to be a good confluence for you guys. This was a really simple trade and it happened really, really quick. We just had a little bit of a hiccup with consolidation before, but the setup is still happening every single day. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to learn more about this model, please come join our Discord. It is completely for free. You don't have to pay anything. You guys will get PDFs, there's live streams, and you guys can just ask us directly. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.